What is going on, my friends? I'm recording this video on the 1st of January 2024, so happy new year everyone. Today I'll be talking about the best goats in the game. I'll be ranking them all the way from garbage to S, and I basically added another column which is called S-, because they're actually characters, or actually, do you know what? Let's rename it to A+, because they're characters that are really great. I appreciate their potential, but at the same time, I don't consider them an S, and I don't consider them an A, so there's something in between. With that said, let's start with the first character on the list. This is Balanced Kenshi. I believe Balanced Kenshi is a B. He's useful, and you're probably going to use him not only in the beginning, but also once you have almost maxed out account, because of the 1-bar starting power. On top of everything, he has, power drain. He's a decent fighter, so I reckon he's a solid B. Alias Johnny Cage is a C. Unfortunately, his passive isn't really that great compared to Balanced Kenshi. He has also power drain and he's a decent fighter, but his passive is pretty disappointing, unfortunately. Edenian Blood Rain is the first character for which I have doubts. In my opinion, he isn't an S, but he isn't an A, so I'm going to place him as an A+. Super useful character that has actually fear, which can be blocked, but at the same time, it is not basically special attack. So if you are facing Assassin Jade and want to fear her away, for instance, you can use Rain to do the job. On top of everything, he has super fun playstyle. He has 2 unblockable special attacks, and he has one of the best assists in the game with the lightnings, which is super cool. Can do tons of stuff using Edenian Blood Rain. On top of everything, one of the best looking characters in the game. So definitely at least an A+. I'm saying at least because still I don't really consider him as an S, but he's definitely more than an A. Scorch Baraka. Scorch Baraka is a B. He has potential, especially basically teamed with Edenian Blood Rain. He has a lot of dots, he has power drain, but he doesn't offer anything when it comes to support, and he's terribly slow. And especially the kick, the high kick combo ender is horrible. Blood God Kotokan is a C, terrible stats, super terrible stats, and generally speaking, he has regeneration. That's his only saving grace. More or less, that's it. If you are up for this guy to be your main fighter, there's a problem in your collection. Bujutsu Konjin is a C, very fun character to use. However, his passive is suitable more like for a character such as Classic Jax, not on an extremely squishy character like Konjin. Sindel is a solid A. Sindel, in my opinion, is the worst Edenian Blood character. She's by far not horrible. She's pretty good. She has beautiful special too. Her Sonic Wave, if you even get there, you can use that, I guess. But the reality is she isn't really the greatest fighter in the world. And 3 combo enders, if you have her maxed out, if you're in the crypt or let's say faction wars, the enemies will be dying anyways. This can be useful against bosses though. However, if you get hit once, if you get intercepted while you're trying to get to the Sonic Wave, you're going to die immediately. So at the end of the day, she's just okay. I believe she's above average, but she doesn't belong in S or A+ tier. Boraicho is a B. He's decent, his passive is good, he can be used Fusion 0 to support characters. He has stun, unfortunately he cannot chain it, but at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Lizard Baraka is probably the best goat in the game. This guy has everything. He's great in towers, he's great in faction wars, he's actually overpowered in faction wars, and he's overpowered in crypt. He has heal, his special 2 kills everybody, he's gaining power like it's Christmas. This guy's absolutely flawless. Shinnok is a B. I'm sorry, Shinnok is just underwhelming and he's super outdated, which is unfortunate because I really hope that one day mkmobile is going to have a good version of Shinnok, because he was the original bad guy for Mortal Kombat X, and the mkmobile was originally called mkxmobile, and still we have just 2 gold Shinnoks and they're both underwhelming, which is bad. Commando Kano, I guess I wouldn't call him a complete garbage. Still, he has the non-special one. I mean, it's just okay. Kotops Cass is an S. In fact, probably the best basic gold character. Super useful. You can use her in the beginning of your mkmobile journey. You can use her all the way to once you have maxed out account. Very powerful special too. Super good fighter. Very good puncher. If I have to summarize her with 2 words, actually 3 words or 4 words, it's going to be the best value, the best offer in the store, basically. 250 souls, that's a bargain. Crown Monster Sub-Zero is a C. I mean, you can use him in a freeze sequence loop type of, I don't know, strategy, but his passive is the same like Alias Johnny Cage. It's underwhelming. Daniel Blood Kitana. Oh my god, I don't know whether she's an S or an A+. Daniel Blood Kitana is super good character. I mean that super good character. You know what? I think that she cannot be really an S because she just lacks the ability to be useful in a team and to do something when she's low fusion, and that's my only problem with her. Once she's an S, she becomes great. You can say that's the same for Lisa Baraka, but at least Lisa Baraka gives 25% critical hit chance, which isn't really something to underestimate. Kitana, and on top of everything, in my opinion, he's stronger than Kitana at maximum fusion. So it's really difficult, guys, but for now, I'll play it safe. I don't have a maxed out yet, so I'm going to play safe. I'm going to play as an A+. Still very solid character. Jackie is a C. Absolutely nothing special with that character. I mean, no. Cyrax is an A. Probably are going to be saying why, because this guy is more or less one of the best supports that you'll be using from day 1 to day 5,000 if you play the game for 5,000 days. Super useful guy, and to be honest with you, he deals massive amount of damage. Yes, I know he's slow, but in certain situations, if you play him right, he doesn't have to be fast. Dark Lord Kotokan is a B. I mean, he has bleeding, he's fast, and that's it. Dark Raiden, I think he's an A. He's a very fast character. In certain situations, he can be useful thanks to the fact that he heals and gains power from, for instance, frostbite, stuff like this. So he's cool. However, I mean, I don't know whether he belongs here or here. I think that he's an A, but the lower tier A. Shang Tsung is an A+, another great new card that I don't believe deserves to be an S character, but at the end of the day, he's super good, and definitely he deserves to be at least an A+. Demolition Sonya is a B. I believe Demolition Sonya is an excellent character. She has fast basic attacks, her passive is super useful, and again, one of those characters that you'll be using even when you have maxed out account with maxed out diamonds, so super good. Kenshi, I don't like Edelgard Kenshi, but I have to agree he has very high stats. He can do special 1, you know, and he can chain it. He's immune to critical hit chance, which makes him super tanky. So I believe he has to be in an A tier, and I believe he's better than Cyrax, so let's place him here. Gunslinger Aaron Black is an A. Unfortunately, he's one of the worst, the hardest character actually to obtain in the gold realm, and his special 2 is a killer. I really hope they're going to bring back his challenge very soon. Flaming Fist Liu Kang. Okay, he's an A again. He's not really bad, I think. He has very low stats, but if you use him correctly on attack, he can demolish everybody. I think he's quite decent. Goro, though, is a C. I'm sorry, Goro is a horrible character. I never like him. He doesn't even have unblockable special attack, so super bad. I still believe that he's better than the rest characters here, so he's going to be in the beginning of the row, but generally speaking, he's bad. Grandmaster Sub-Zero is a B, especially if now the Death Mark is supposed to be working only on resurrections, then Death Mark won't be working on him, which makes him very viable tank, for instance, in Crypt, stuff like this. Hanzo is an A+, another character that I believe is an A+. The thing that I dislike about Hanzo is that his bleeds and everything lasts way too short. Apart from that, he is an excellent fighter, he can spam his special 1, but generally speaking, I think that the guys that will rank S are slightly better than him. Hattori Kung Lao is a B, useful support, more or less, that's it. Heavy Weapons Jax is an A. You know what, I believe Flaming Fist Liu Kang is going to go to the B. He's like the top of the B. Heavy Weapons Jax, I mean, you can use him in Crypt, you can use him in Factional Wars, even in Towers in lower stages, and he's super fun to play. His specialty is super devastating, but at the end of the day, he's, let's call it that way, outdated. Pyromancer Tanya is an S, probably the best gold support in the game. You can use her on any team, basically, as long as you have Martial Artist or Outworlder that can punch. For instance, there are a lot of Martial Artists that can do that. The first one that comes to mind is, of course, MK11 Scorpion. So if you have Pyromancer Tanya, as long as the enemy team is not healing from dots, you're going to win the fight. Inferno Scorpion is an A. Inferno Scorpion is super good thanks to the fact he can spam special 1. And he can do that and lock enemies into stun loop. And you can take advantage of the fact that you're tagging in and out all the time to take full advantage of the fact that his basic attacks will also deal a lot of damage. So definitely he has potential. It's not one of the best, but still quite useful. Lizard Jade is A. I believe Lizard Jade is worse than Shang Tsung and Hanzo, but still she's better. than, for instance, Dark Raiden and Elder God Kenshi. She has a lot of potential. The problem with Lizard Jade is the fact that her basic attacks are kind of weird. Apart from that, she has very powerful passive, and she can be useful as a support even at Fusion 0. Lizard Noob Cybot is an A+. In my opinion, he doesn't belong in the S tier, and I don't really give S tier lightly, so you have to be a really, really great character. You have to excel in specific fields in order for me to give you an S tier. I believe Lizard Noob excels in the fact that he can resurrect people after they die. Even if we're talking about the next fight in a survival mode type of game mode. But at the end of the day, I don't like the fact that his passive can be missed if you're a little bit away from the enemy. It's a grapple, so you spend 2 bars of power, and then you completely miss his shadow special, and then you have to spend another bars of power. And his basic attacks are a little bit slow. He has slow recovery speed. So at the end of the day, he's a very good character, but I don't want to put him next to Lizard Baraka. This guy is a B. I mean, he can I'm saying kinda because he cannot do really great stun loops, but he can kind of do that, so it's fine. High Tech Jackie is an A. She's top tier right here. Very useful support, mainly for the fact that if you use her against bosses and let's say you have Combat Cup team, you can use High Tech Jackie at any fusion and you can make your life much easier against bosses. Very, very useful character. Unstoppable Jason is bottom A. He has regeneration, more or less, that's it. Kintaro is super bad, but I believe he's better than Goro for one reason. You know what? I believe Kintaro deserves to be, but bottom B, because at least unlike Goro, Kintaro has unblockable special that deals a lot of damage, so you can do something with him, I guess. Jade is an A. I never liked this Jade. I still believe she's better than Jackie and Kenshi, but I don't think she deserves to be A+ next to Rain, Kitana, Hanzo, and stuff like this. So she's a decent character, but nothing special, unfortunately. Classic Noob is bottom A. Again, Classic Noob. Unfortunately, his passive only works when the enemy's break is actually blocking. It's super annoying because it says every single attack is considered unblockable, but the damage increase will only trigger if they're blocking. Don't ask me why this is the case. This Cassie is bottom A. She isn't really that great. At least she has good stats and she makes her team immune to cripple. So I guess she has her value, but she isn't really incredible. Classic Scorpion is right here next to Baraka, the second or even the best character in the game. He's an absolute beast. If you don't know, I actually started a new account and I beat Fatal Shiryu Tower in 38 days with Fusion 5 Classic Scorpion, and I used him in 199 out of 200 fights. The only fight where I didn't use him, I believe it was a boss fight, 160, and the reason why I didn't use him was the fact that there was an MK11 Scar that was healing from bleed, so I had to use Cortops Cassie. Classic Ermac. This guy is difficult because he's super useful in the beginning, the first 2 or 3 months, and then his value starts declining until you reach a point where you almost never use him. But still, I reckon he has tremendous value in the beginning for every beginner. So I will place him not as an S, not as an A+, but something like a mid-A. Again, he's an S. The first 1 or 2 months, he's an S. You want to get him because certain fights, boss fights, you cannot beat without him. But the more your account gets developed, and I'm not talking about 2 or 3 years, I'm talking about 6-7 months, the less of a value he gets. Once you get good fusion gold, such as Classic Scorpion Hanzo, you realize at a certain point that you actually beat the fight faster if you don't have Classic Ermac in your team. So I will place him as a mid-A. He's still a very good character, but I already explained what are my main issues with him. Classic Smoke is a total S. I think he's one of the very best golds. He has super useful passive, which is going to be useful for you even once you are mainly doing only diamonds, and he can fight. He has very good special 1, excellent special 2 with very good debuff on it, so one of the very best characters in the game. Classic Sonya. Classic Sonya. I think Classic Sonya is an A+. Again, the reason why she's an A+ because she doesn't offer a lot at Fusion 0. And every single character at S tier offers something. For instance, Smoke is very good for his passive. Classic Scorpion has incredibly good chaining plus bleed. Cassie gives unblockable chance. Pyromancer Tana gives her fires. And the only exception is Lizard Baraka. But even Lizard Baraka gives 25% critical hit damage boost. Critical hit chance, I'm sorry. And the thing about Lizard Baraka is that even though he isn't really that great at Fusion 0, at Fusion 10 he becomes a monster. While I wouldn't say that Classic Sonya becomes a monster at Fusion 10. Yes, she's very good, but the absolute beast of a character among the Gold Realm at Maximum Fusion is Lizard Baraka. He's completely unhinged. Classic Sub-Zero is bottom A. Now the reason, if the only place Classic Sub-Zero works is if you're super skillful with doing his special to chaining. It can be pretty useful against certain boss fights, certain fights where the enemy has a million health, but generally speaking, in my opinion, they're better alternatives still. I don't think he's a super bad character. Again, better options. Classic Kano. Okay, Classic Kano, guys. I believe he is among the best characters in the A tier. I was wrong about Classic Kano. I have issues with this character, the fact that he has super low stats, both when it comes to attack and health. But at the end of the day, I saw a lot of videos by the Shaolin Monk basically showcasing the power and the usefulness of this character. I cannot disagree with that anymore. I still don't believe that he's better than Classic Sonya and Hanzo. I'm not convinced that he's on their level, but definitely he belongs in the A tier list. So yeah, I'm sorry if I ranked him lower before. I stand corrected. I saw my mistake. I believe this character has potential. Classic Melina is very good stats, and that's it, and she's good to heal her like allies. The problem is that she doesn't have anything on her special attacks, it's just damage. Unfortunate. Combat Cup Sonya is an A+, very good passive. Certain fights you cannot beat without having Combat Cup Sonya. So definitely she belongs to the A+, she belongs in the GOAT conversation. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any debuff on Special 1, though she's a great fighter. Unfortunately, again, she cannot really very good chain her special abilities with her basic attacks. She can do that if she has cornered the enemy, but at the end of the day, she doesn't really belong as an S, in my opinion. Very, very close, but it's not yet there. I mean, Kobujutsu Tanya, I don't know. I mean, she's a character that excels in a mode that is dead. Like Faction Wars is a dead mode. You just play it for fun, and if you want to get your daily rubies, and more or less that's it. It is not really that competitive compared to towers and everything else, so I believe she belongs in the top B tier. Combat Cup Johnny is an S, another great fighter. He's great in every single game mode, very good stats, a very good passive, excellent special 1, excellent special 2. So generally speaking, great character. The only drawback that he's not really that great at Fusion Zero. The only drawback, but in my opinion, he's better than Classic Sonya at High Fusion. This is the reason why he gets here, and Classic Sonya doesn't. Cosplay Jackie is another A+ character. Every single time when I have to rank her, I say that she just misses something to go to S, and if they ask me what, I say I don't know, because that's the truth. She's so versatile. She can do Frostbite, she can do Team Fire, she can do so many things, but there's something about her that I don't like, and I don't consider her as an S. Still though, she ranks very, very high. Kraken Reptile is a B, literally a character without passive. His passive is super bad, and the general case you don't want to get hit. So this guy, super bad passive. Marksman Kunjin is a top tier A, I believe. He's super fast, and his passive is very good. He can chain his special 1 plus combo enders forever. So another very good character. The drawback, the same like Classic Kano, he has super low stats. The good news is that at least he has some fires. Vampirus Melina is a bottom. I don't know. I think she's a top tier B character. She literally shines in just one team, and that's her main problems. Of course, she can support Classic Scorpion, but generally speaking, she isn't that. Morpho Kitana is a B. She's just a useful support, just like Balance Kenshi, more or less that's it. As a fighter, she's not really that great. Master of Souls Ermac, bottom tier B. I mean, X-ray teams, why not? Shield with X-ray, why not? Nimble Reptile is a B. Nimble Reptile, unlike the other guys that give health, can have pretty good chaining, and on top of that he has poison, can be super useful in certain situations. And if you basically corner somebody with Nimble Reptile, you can keep him cornered forever. This is how good as a fighter he is. Noxious Reptile, the same. I believe Noxious Reptile has very good potential to support dot teams, and again, he is a decent fighter, so he deserves there. Nunjutsu Scorpion, just like Inferno Scorpion, pretty decent character, not going to lie, he's pretty decent. In my opinion, he's better than Nunjutsu due to the fact that his passive can actually enhance other characters, so definitely he deserves in A tier, in my opinion, very underestimated character. Pharaoh Ermac is a B. I mean, in certain situations he can be useful thanks to the fact that his passive benefits on resurrection modifiers and stuff like this, so definitely he can be useful in certain situations, but generally speaking, I wouldn't consider him a top tier GOAT. Piercing Melina is a B. She has good stats, good attack, very high attack, and more or less that's it. Her passive is super situational. In certain specific fights though, she can be pretty useful. Possessed Kenshi is a C. Like, I never liked this guy, I'm sorry. In my opinion, Balanced Kenshi is much better. Stun Double Johnny Cage is an A. A lot of people like underestimate Stun Double Johnny Cage, but he's one of the best fighters in the game. His only drawback is the super low stats, but generally speaking, he has stun on attack and almost unstoppable basic attack chainings plus special one. Sector is a B. A Sector can be useful support, and more or less that's it. Also, he shines in a Triborg team, of course. Shaolin Kunjin is a B. Again, useful support, and that's it. And he can fight, but he does 0 damage in the process, unfortunately. Shaolin Fist Kung Lao is a B. I know somebody will disagree, but like, it's just my personal opinion. This guy is just average. Slasher Jason is an S. Incredibly good character in every single game mode. Of course, he doesn't work against bosses and against characters that heal from bleed, but generally speaking, he's super useful in creep. He can be your tank dam. He also does incredible amount of damage due to the fact that he's doing bleeds, and dots really kill everybody. So generally speaking, Slasher Jason, very useful all the way from Fusion 0 to Fusion 10. This guy is total garbage, I'm sorry. His passive is super bad. And even despite the fact he can kind of change his special 2, by the time you have the gear and everything to change this guy's special 2, you will have 100% better alternative. So no, total trash. Smoke is an A, another decent Triborg that can be used outside of a Triborg team, and he can shine. You can even use him once you have a maxed out account. On top of everything, he can fight, and his passive is quite useful. Spectre Ermac, total trash. Seriously, in order for this guy to become strong, you need to sacrifice a really strong character so that he can inherit attack and toughness good enough so that he can start doing damage. No, I don't really want to sacrifice anybody to make Spectre Ermac stronger. And on top of everything, you can just sacrifice one character. Why not 2? Why not 3? Anyways, Swarm Cream Devourer, another. I think she's a C. 2 debuffs. Why not? I mean, she's not great, but at the same time, she isn't horrible. Sun God Koto Kan, I believe he's a top tier B character due to the fact that you'll be using him long time after you max out your goats. He's very useful support, and he has unblockable special 2, and more or less that's it. Basically, he's like Sonya. The thing is with Sonya, she has better basic attacks, and I believe Sonya deserves to be somewhere here in front of him. Yeah. Tactical Sonya is total trash. Very underwhelming character, unfortunately. Takeda is a B, top tier B. I mean, you can use him to support Cassie Cage, and you can use him to kill people with his special 2, and more or less that's it. Thunderguts Raiden is a B. I mean, in my opinion, Classic Raiden Fusion 0 is better than Thunderguts Raiden Fusion 10. That's just my opinion. Triborg Sub-Zero is A. Very good character, and he has shield on attack. You can protect yourself against X-ray, stuff like this. So very useful. Treacherous Tanya is a top tier B. She just have one combo ender, which is very useful to use with the Dead and Blood Rain, and more or less that's it. In certain situations you can break equipment, but you can definitely do it without it. Tremor is an A+. I know many people disagree, but in my opinion, Tremor is super underrated character. He's one of the best characters in the game, and he can help you with so many facts due to the nature of his passive. Super underrated character. This girl is a C. Nothing special about her. Vengeful Shinnok is a, I believe, top tier B. He can do damage on his special 2, and that's it. Remember when he was released, his special 2 would one-shot maxed out diamond when he was blocking, so they actually nerfed his special 2. That was crazy. Venomous Devourer is again B. I know she can do massive damage if she's like given extremely overpowered equipment. She can do 700k. Shaolin Monk demonstrated that. Again, by the time you have this equipment, you'll most certainly never use Devourer, so she belongs at B. Still, if you want to have fun, you can give her some crazy equipment and support her in a way that she can kill everybody with one hit. And Quan Chi is an A. I believe Quan Chi is one of the best supports. I mean, again, you can use him all the way from level 1 to level 60 once you have maxed out account. Very useful character that can help you in a lot of situations. Alright guys, please let me know what you think about this ranking. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, guys.
Perfect.